Hey guys! So if you missed class on Thursday, September 3rd, if you missed class on Thursday, September 3rd, we did stuff in our journals. So we added some notes, we wrote down some definitions, and we did our journal prompt number 2. So I will post the prompt for journal number 2, and I will post the slides where we took the notes, but I'm gonna show you guys really quick in the journal where I want you to take your notes. If you have not finished making your journal with all of the tabs yet, if you look on my video for August 25th, then it'll show you how to put together that journal. So the first 2 definitions that we wrote down in class were imply and inference. And I want you to write those in the reading tab. That's where we're gonna do that one, okay? So write those 2 definitions down there. And then in class, I brought some items to school and I showed everyone some things about me. So what they did is they made a little T-chart in their journal, and on their left side, they wrote evidence, and those are the evidence were the things that I brought to class. And on the right side, we wrote inference, and we made inferences about what I was like because of the evidence that I brought, or what things I liked. So if you look at those 2 definitions, that will show you more of that. I will post a PowerPoint underneath this that has the slides that we took notes on and a slide with pictures of the items that I brought so that you guys can make your own inferences. So you should, in this reading tab for that day, put those 2 definitions, imply and inference, and make the T-chart where you're going to write down the evidence that I have in the PowerPoint and what you can infer about me from there. I just need one inference. In class, we went over multiple examples. So one example, I brought my SUU student ID card. So what you can infer from that, because infer is basically using evidence to come to a conclusion. And what the students were talking about and inferred was that I was an SUU student. I had stickers on there that shows that I can go to school events, so they inferred that I probably went to SUU events like the football games or gymnastics meets. They were able to infer that I graduated from SUU and that I was a student there. So there are little things that you can infer from each item that I brought. So that's what I want you to do on the reading tab, is go in and write down those pieces of evidence and one inference that you can make with that. So the next thing that we did, because we wrote 2 more definitions, but this time we wrote them in the Utah Studies tab. So go to the Utah Studies tab and write 2 more definitions. Again, those definitions are going to be on the slides that I post right under this video. Those 2 definitions are bias and perspective. So I want you to go in, find the PowerPoint, write those 2 definitions here under the Utah Studies tab. And then when you finish writing those definitions, we talked a little bit about that and how bias is, everybody has bias. Bias is basically when you think you're more, where you have more of an opinion of something because that's something that it relates to you or something like that. So one of the examples I brought up was I am more biased towards Cedar Middle School than I am Canyon View Middle School, because Cedar Middle School